Okay, family, once again, it's another Champions League night. This is Quacktix updates, bringing you Quacktix, you know, preview on the Champions League matches. And of course, we are going to talk about the big one, which is Arsenal playing at the Emirates Sports Stadium against Real Madrid. So, Quacktix updates, Quacktix Sports Channel. Yeah, let's go into it. Fast forward, let's look at some of the probable lineups we've been seeing. We've been hearing rumors that Ancelotti is looking at playing Alaba at the left back, and to me personally, Saka is back. When you play Alaba at the left back, he will kill him. That is that. He will use him. So the coach is looking at playing Alaba and Lucas Vazquez as left and right backs, and then play Valverde in the midfield, of which I don't think it's a good idea. But first, let's look at the possible lineup or the probable lineup these two teams might come up with. Of course, for Arsenal, Raya in goal post, Timber, Saliba, Kiwa, and then the MLS boy, that is Lewis Kelly, in a back four with Odegaard, Partey, Rice playing in the midfield with Saka, and then Martinelli on the wings. The coach is contemplating on starting Merino ahead of Trossard. But me particularly, I would prefer Trossard ahead of Merino. Merino can come in late and then support, but it's the coach and what he decides. So on the other hand at the camp of Arsenal again, Arsenal this season, one of their main strengths is that they take advantage of set pieces. About over 30% of their goals they've scored this season is from set pieces. And then Madrid, in their last 3 or 4 games, they've been conceding a lot from crosses and then set pieces. So I think Arsenal will take advantage over here. That is at the cap of Arsenal. Okay, let's look into the lineup of Real Madrid. Real Madrid is likely to come up with Thibaut Courtois in goal post, Rudiger with Asensio in central defense, Valverde from the right back position, playing from the right back, and then Alaba. But then, if you see any changes in the lineup, don't be surprised, because the coach is still, contemplating whom to start on the right and left back positions. In the midfield, the coach is obviously going to play Camavinga. He made it clear, together with Luka Modric and then Jude Bellingham, the darling boy, And then the attacking trio of Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, and then Rodrigo leading the attack for Real Madrid. At the camp of Real Madrid, these players are yellow card away, from suspension. Camavinga, Luka Modric, Endrick, and then Rudiger. These players are yellow card away from being suspended for the next leg. And then Courtois is back. He will start, of course, but unfortunately, Dani Ceballos and then Mendy were, they couldn't be fit for this game, so they are not playing in this game. They are not fit. And Madrid, as I said, Arsenal, about over 30% of their goals this season is coming from set pieces. And then right now, Madrid weakness is defending set pieces, and their defense is also a bit shaky. Rudiger, who is the best player in the team in terms of air balls, he is now, losing his form because of the injury and other stuff. So Arsenal, I think they can take advantage of set pieces to harm Real Madrid. And then, me particularly, looking at this game, Carlo Ancelotti said something that he will leave the ball for Arsenal to play. That is what we are getting from the camps. They will leave the ball for Arsenal to play and then catch them on counter break. Of course, Arsenal is going to press Real Madrid. Arsenal will be pressing them like very hard one. And if Arsenal are not careful, they can use long balls to hurt them, just like they did to Man City in the return leg. Man City went pressing high, and then one long ball, Mbappe had the first goal. You see that? So Arsenal will press, but they should be careful, because when you are pressing, it should be coordinated. The midfield needs to follow the attackers pressing, and then the defenders too, of which you leave a big space behind you, and then space invaders like Rodrigo, Vinicius, and then Mbappe, being speedsters, they can harm you when it happens that way. But then I see to it that Arsenal should probably take control of the game. I mean, the midfield, they should take control. That will help them to win the game. If Arsenal wants to qualify, me particularly, in my opinion, they should win the game, this game, either 2-0 or 3. If it is 1, it is nothing. Either 2-0 or 3. For that one, they can qualify. But then this game, my prediction is that Arsenal is going to get at least a goal in this game. They are going to at least score 1 goal against Real Madrid. That is my prediction. So for the investors, Arsenal over 0.5. And then for the whole game, I can say there will be more than one game in the goal. One goal in the game, sorry. So over 1.5 for the whole game. But who will win? It's very difficult, you know. You cannot you cannot rate Real Madrid off. Even they don't have form right now, they are not in good form. But this is Champions League. Of course, they are the masters of the European Champions League, so you cannot just throw them away. You get it? That is why I'm not picking size here. But I've told you the goals, I think it will be over 1.5. Bayern Munich sitting home at the Allianz Arena and then playing against Inter Milan from Italy. Now, very quick one. Let's look at the lineups for these two teams. It's a probable lineup, not the, it's a possible lineup. So these two teams from the camp of Bayern, we are looking at their goalkeeper, Ubik in the goalpost, Lima playing as a right back, and then Stanisic as a left back, with the two central defenders being Kim and Dyer. Upamecano is injured, so he's not playing. And then their midfield two of Leon Goretzka and Joshua Kimmich. At the front four, or the attackers, we have Michael Olise, Leroy Sané, and Thomas Müller. The coach is contemplating whether to start Thomas Müller or to start, Serge Gnabry. So Harry Kane will definitely start. He is back and he is fit for the game. At the same Bayern camp, let's look at some of the players that are, these players are yellow card away from suspension. They are yellow card away from suspension. That is Kingsley Coman, who is not playing in the game. He's injured. Serge Gnabry, Leon Goretzka, Lima, and then Leroy Sané. These players are yellow card away from suspension, meaning when they get yellow card in this game, they are not playing in their return league or their return match. And then these players are also not available for Bayern. Jamal Musiala, and then Kingsley Coman. There are two players that are very important. Of course, Upamecano too is not fit for the game. Alphonso Davies injured, Ito injured, Neuer injured, Pavlovic is also ill, and then so these are the players that are not available for the Bayern squad. And from the camp of Inter Milan, let's look at something. They play in a 3-5-2 system or formation. So their goalkeeper Soma will be in goal post. The three center backs will be Bastoni, Acerbi, and then Pavard. This is what we are getting from their training grounds. Of course, the coach can do changes. This is a probable lineup. The midfield five, Carlos Augusto, since Federico Di Marco is ruled out, and then Mkhitaryan, Hakan Karnoglu, and then Nicolo Barella in the midfield together with Damien, since Denzel Dumfries is also not playing. And then the two forward being Thuram and Martinez, of course. And then when you look at the side of Inter Milan, these are the players that are not available for the game. We have Aslani, he's not playing. We have Carboni is also injured. Of course, Denzel Dumfries, and then we have Taremi is also injured. Zielinski is also injured. So this is the probable lineup these two teams will come up with. Now let's look at something here. You know, Musiala not starting for Bayern will be a big blow to them, because we know Inter team to be a very good defensive team, and in this case they would need a player who is tight space invader. When you say tight space invader, a player who can create and dribble in tight spaces. And he not playing, it will be a big blow for them. I see it that way. And of course, looking at these two teams, it's not going to be easy match for Bayern. Although looking at the previous matches, their last 5 matches, Bayern has been able to win 4 of them, Inter winning 1. It's not going to be easy for them. And then this game, me particularly, when the game end up draw, I won't be surprised, because both of them have the capacity moving into the game. They have the vim to do anything, pull up anything. Of course, individual performances or individual brilliances will be needed in this game. And Inter in a 5-back, the wingers of Bayern Munich, which is in this case Leroy Sané and Olis, they have to do something to help the team, since this guy is not playing. Musiala, who is the creator for the team, is not playing. And of course, I am expecting a very hard defense on Harry Kane. Of course, they know what he can do, they know his movement, and then they know how this guy is dangerous in the box. So they will be defending him very well. I'm expecting that. Bayern will try to control the game, and Inter will also try to control the game. This game, it's a 50-50 side for me, and of course I won't be surprised if it ends up draw. I won't be surprised if it ends up draw. Even if a win will come, it won't be a massive win like 3-0 or 4-0. It will be between 1-0 and then 2-0. That is how I see this game. So do well to follow, subscribe, and then share your opinion.